At age 30, 32, you were part owner of the Sydney Kings. Started from humble beginnings as a hairdresser with your dad to one of the leading industry innovators in merchandising in the country. And you debuted on the Rich List last year. Welcome, it's great to have you back.
Thanks.
You're also the author of The Power to Act. It's a great read. Everyone serious about business should be reading it.
Thanks, mate. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Now, Dorry, does everything you touch turn to gold?
Far from it. No, not really. When I was younger, it didn't. Everything I touched turned into mud. But no, not really. You've just got to put yourself out there and try.
And just try and try again.
Yeah, if you get knocked down, just have another crack at it. But look, if you put the right elements in place, then hopefully, it should turn out to be positive. So yeah, there's a lot of lessons learned.
Now, I know you push the envelope. You push the envelope in the industry.
Yeah.
How important is it to push the envelope in business and life?
Well, I think very important. You've got to, if you want to be part of the crop, then don't push the envelope. If you want to be a leader, well then, you need to push yourself, and you find a lot of the innovators and a lot of the market leaders out there, the ones that really push themselves that extra bit, whether you're training that extra bit or whether you're putting extra 2 hours of work. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out of it. So yeah, you've got to keep pushing that envelope.
You had success in sport, I guess.
Yep.
And team playing, team communication and commitment relates to business, being a team player in business.
Yeah.
In retrospect, looking back when you were playing the Sydney Kings, you got into the rep team at a younger age, so you're playing with a lot of older boys.
Yeah.
They were out there drinking, doing that stuff. Why didn't you get tempted? Why was there no temptation? Peer pressure.
I was very tempted. Don't get me wrong. When I was young, I did go out and have a good time. So, which is probably why my grades failed at school, because I was too busy enjoying the life of sport and going out and sort of hanging out with a lot of the older players. But it's. I've never done drugs, and I'm proud of that, and I've just never had a nurture to do things like that. But it's being very strong and very committed to, I guess, to believing within yourself and not getting influenced by peer pressure. And that's the same thing in business. You apply the same attributes, and you're going to hopefully get the same results.
Yeah, I know some critics that say you're a bit self-assured. What makes you laugh that off?
Self-assured? Look, you've got to be confident. A lot of people take confidence and think it's cockiness, and it's not. If you're not confident as a sports athlete or as a business leader, then how are you going to get to that point? You've got to always back yourself and believe in yourself. And I think confidence and arrogance can sort of be very, very close. So it's important that arrogance confused with confidence. Did
you visualise having your dreams?
Yeah, definitely.
Every day, once a month.
When I was a kid, every day, sleeping on my dad's back salon and just sort of visualising where I'm going to be and what I'm going to do. But it was tough, because you think, geez, I'm going to buy a house. It's what is going to be that thing that's going to get me to that point where I can do it and have those luxuries in life that I can, be proud of, and I'm a believer, if you put yourself out there, it will come. And you probably get presented with a lot of opportunities in life.
But back it up with the power to act.
Yeah, correct.
Got to back it up with action.
And for me, I come across a lot of people now coming to me with advice and ideas and what should I do, and
yeah, what do you do when somebody propositions you with a business concept?
I grill them hard.
I've felt it.
Yeah. But the book a plan. But I got a lot of people knocking on my door, and it's a matter of just giving, I don't mind giving people time if they're hungry and wanting to grow. But I really grill them, and to see whether they've really thought out the process. And if they can't work it out within their heads, or they don't have an answer, go back and come back when you know the answers. And that's important. So yeah, look,
so important not to waste people's time as well.
Yeah. And if you do want to start a business, work out the basics. How you're going to get to point B and C and D, and how you're going to climb the obstacles and the hurdles, and what are going to be the negatives. Are you prepared to live without a salary for a year? If you don't make money within a year, how are you going to survive? How are you going to sustain your way of life? Can you afford to do it? No, I can't. Well, then you need to redress. Are you in the right position to start your business? So
maybe wait.
There's a lot of for me, I get a lot of opportunities come my way, and I say no to a lot of them. It's important not to think, oh my God, I'm going to miss this opportunity, because you get a lot come your way, and life is a long road, and you'll find that good thing about business, you're never too young or never too old to start.
In your book, I read a statement. You said, "No man is an island, no man shall walk alone." Shakespeare.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you take by that?
You know, in business, you know, you start alone. You can stay working on your own, but you know, if you build a good team, well then you got to make your staff feel just as important and empowered within your business. Otherwise, you won't get to stage 2. You know, do you just want to be a $1 million business, or do you want to be a $50 million business? And to get to that point, you're going to have to let go and have other people come on board to sort of help you grow.
I know you're a massive fan of Michael Jordan.
Yep.
What did you learn from him?
His determination, his hunger to succeed, and just the way he sort of went about being a leader. I think that's important. You know, it's, you know, at a young age, seeing someone sort of, you know, fail, you know, not making his high school team in basketball, end up being the greatest athlete in the world, and you know, that's self-determination. That's you know, he believed in himself, and he backed it, and he went through with it.
Is nothing impossible?
Look, nothing is impossible, but you got to be realistic with it. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, yeah, I want to, you know, build $1 billion empire." Great. Or I want to land on the moon. Great. But you know, you got to have realistic dreams. And if you have realistic dreams, then it is going to be possible. But if you have unrealistic dreams, well, then of course it's going to be impossible. So you've got to be true to you know, you got to be a realist as well. And you know, I don't
be realist, but also be an optimist, but also realist.
Yeah, correct. Definitely. I think that's important.
Should you start with the end game in mind?
What do you mean by that?
Well, your vision, I guess, your end game, like
Yeah,
where
well,
you want
yeah,
to get to.
yeah,
You start
definitely.
there, then you re-engineer backwards,
Yeah,
and then you start the steps. You know,
without a doubt. Without, like, you know, when I before I even started my business, I was visualizing what I wanted, and when you visualize what you want, you strive, you know, to achieve that. And for me, one of the things that got me going was having that belief that, you know, how am I going to get there? Didn't know how I was going to do it, but having that end goal there was that carrot for me to keep going.
Now, my understanding is you got fired with George.
Yeah, my cousin.
With your cousin at the start. What was this experience? What did you take from that?
Yeah, look, it was hard because, you know, I left hairdressing because I didn't like it. I got my trade, did my 4 years, stuck it out, which was great. Dad was very disappointed because he wanted me to take over the business. My cousin George he goes, look, if you want a change, I'll let you get into sales at 21. You can work in my wholesaling business. And that's, my older brother was working with him 6 months ahead of me. So, cats and dogs, you get your older brother and younger brother, we just fought just non-stop. And he was going through a merge with 2 other companies, and he said to me, listen, we're merging, I cannot have both of you guys fighting because it's going to cause a very bad taste with my new partners. So even though I was doing great, like for me, the day that I started in this industry, I knew that's it. It's my calling. And I was very lucky that at a young age I sort of found what I wanted to do in life, and that was sell t-shirts at that point in time. But yeah, so I cried in his boardroom. I was absolutely crying and absolutely heartbroken and just sort of really pissed off because I was really good at it.
I can never imagine you crying.
Yeah, well, I did cry. So yeah, I can form tears. But yeah, look, it was very hard. You know, for me, it felt like rejection. But he goes, look, I want you to work with my sister who's starting up her promotional company.
Did this fuel the fire inside you?
Well, no, because when I left there, he started the wholesaling. He merged with a wholesaling business with some other partners. My brother went with him. I ended up working with his sister, who was starting up a merchandise business. She didn't have any merchandise experience. She came from a corporate background. So we pretty much both started from her Clavelli house back then as well. And that was probably my toughest time because I wasn't getting paid for a year. I was unemployed. You know, I was technically unemployed because the business was wasn't even making a cent. Driving a pickup van, couldn't afford to go out, and it was tough. It was a tough journey.
What kept you going? Like you're driving your pickup van to work, you know. Now you're driving. What are you driving now?
A nice car. A Fiat. Look, you know, what kept me going was I knew where I wanted to go, and I looked at that as my university degree. You know, a lot of kids now, Gen Ys, don't want to land on the mountain, and you don't land. You've got to climb the mountain. There's a lot of hurdles to get to that point. And people look at me now saying, oh, you're lucky, you've done it. I go, well, shit, you know, I've gone through a lot of tough times, and I was very hungry and focused where I wanted to get. So I went through years where, you know, I didn't have $10 in my pocket. You know, my parents would have to lend me money. You know, parents telling me, what are you doing working for your cousins for free? You know, because there was no income at the time. You know, get a proper job, and my friends are out there, and, you know, on a 40 grand salary working in Colorado or in a retail store or in an office, and I'm there struggling to put things together. And it was tough because I saw these guys, you know, enjoying life. I thought, you know, if I go down that path, am I going to be a leader? Am I going to be able to get to where I want to get in the big picture? So I stuck it out.
You've climbed the mountain now. You're on the rich list. You're an innovator in the industry. Have you made yourself redundant? Like Paul Starosky, another Wealth Director alumni, he suggested making yourself redundant in the business and having other people manage it, and you oversee. You've achieved that now. What's your next mountain?
I guess we could take this business a lot further than where it is at the moment. You know, we're probably one of the top 10 players in our industry. You know, merging the company with my brother's given me a lot more freedom now. And you know, it's a good thing when you can trust your other peers and you know, my brother as well, that, you know, we can rely on each other. So for me right now, it's to grow that business further. Look at our bottom line. For me, it's not about what you turn over, it's what your profit is. You know, if you're turning over $10 million, we're making $4 million profit, and it's equivalent to a $35 million business. That's what counts in your profitability. So our aim is to, you know, to keep the profits high and sort of grow the business, and hopefully one day, you know, offload it and sell it, or we'll see what we do with it. So I haven't worked out the end goal for the business yet. You know, something me and Danny will talk about, but we're just constantly growing the business to make it more, I guess, you know, put it in a position where, you know, we'll get one of these big bosses sort of invest in it.
Here we are back again with author Dorry Kordahi, Power to Act, entrepreneur, innovator, young rich list. He definitely knows his stuff. Dorry, I was reading your book again, and I recall from it you're actually sipping beer. You couldn't even afford to buy beer at the time, so you got entertained and sip beer. You know, what was going through your mind and things, and critics saying to you, and you just keep saying to them, we'll see where I'm in 5 years. Like,
I guess they're all things that you take with you when you sort of succeed, I guess. Like, you know, they were the tough, dark times of my life. You know, people, I didn't want people to shout me drinks because I knew I couldn't shout them a drink back. So for me, it was all about if I can't afford it, then don't go out there and do it or spend it. So yeah, it was tough. It was challenging, depressing. You know, I had a lot of dark moments in my life, but those moments are the ones that are going to help you want to succeed and sort of give you that hunger and that burning desire to succeed. And that's what fueled me as well. So it was all part of it. Take the positive out of the negative.
Okay, the 80-20 rule in business.
Yep.
You know, 80% of your revenue or profits come from 20% of your clients. So that 20% therefore should get 80% of the love.
Yep.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I think it's a common trait a lot of business people, entrepreneurs say. At the start, I didn't have that rule. At the start, every dollar counted. So for me, it was like a 100-100 rule. Everything that came through was like a bonus. But I think once you build your business to a point where you've got enough clients, then you start analysing the clients that you have, and you start restructuring and just working to, you know, with those clients, and you'll find that it will start eventuating. When I was working within the family business, it was so funny because I used to. I was turning over $800,000 in sales as a salesperson back then. I thought, wow. And I go through my monthly sales reports. I have like 80 jobs to get that 80,000 for that month in terms of sales. I'm like, well, that's a lot of work to earn that, you know, to generate that much sales. So the year after I came back from our holidays, I said, you know what? I'm going to go through my client base and work out which ones I'm going to focus on. And I spent time focusing on the bigger ones that I knew had the potential to grow, and the ones that didn't have the potential, I just didn't put enough energy into those. So the year after, I worked less, but sold way more. I ended up selling 1.2 million as a salesperson, and I found that I worked less, but got better results because I focused my energies in the right areas.